So now that we've copied that down, what will happen is this line in between the total and the plastic, the row 10 and 11, that line will disappear because it'll assume that you want the formatting from the total cell that we copied all of this from, the E6, which doesn't have a bottom border. So the way you do that is once this is done, it's pasted the numbers. This option will come up on the bottom right corner, autofill options, and then just click fill without formatting. Okay, and then we get our line back. All right, because that's the line we had before and we don't want it to go away. So again, you just go to autofill, fill without formatting. Okay. Now for this step, you could do it in two ways. We could do it the easy way and just sum, but just for practice, let's do a 3D reference. So we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to take the sum of each one, which you can do. So you can take, averages and use formulas, different formulas from different numbers, different worksheets. Okay, so we're going to do from quarter one. So we equal sum, open bracket, go down and click on quarter one, and then we're going to press and hold shift again to group them. And that way, see the formula up here. We have sum of quarter one all the way to quarter four, so it's kind of like a range. So quarter one to quarter four, so it knows that you don't have to say quarter one plus quarter two plus quarter three plus quarter four. All you do is just put the range quarter one to quarter four, and then the cell we want in each worksheet because they're identical. So we want the close bracket, and you get your total. Again, one more time. So we'll go equal sum, and then click on quarter one first. Group them by pressing shift and hold shift. Press quarter four. So we have our formula up here, and now it wants to know the cell. And for this one, we want the total of glass, so we're going to click on E7 this time. Close the bracket. So see the formula up here, and then just press enter. Go back to the summary sheet. Now it's got the, and now we can just copy these down. Okay, just double check. Oh, sorry, forgot this again. So remember, autofill options, fill without formatting. Okay, because we want to keep that line there. So just make sure that's the same. F10 is really the E10 because remember we added that column. So the F10, whatever's in F10 is the other worksheet's E10. So E10, it should say E9, E8, E7, and then E6. Great, so we've done it well. Now one last thing, we're going to change one of the numbers. This is why we use the reference, because if we change one of the numbers later on, we're going to have those numbers affected in the summary worksheet. So let's go to quarter three, and we're going to go to D8, and we're going to type in 525 instead. Okay, notice the number at the bottom, and then 1182, I press enter, 1232. Okay, and this number changed too in the quarter three sum, and so did this. Okay, that's because we changed the numbers and we used a cell reference, okay, or a 3D reference, which is nice. So let's say we just made a mistake or an error on one of the worksheets, we can just change that number, and then the number will be affected in the summary. So it saves us a bit of time. Now the last thing we're going to do is group the worksheets so that you can print them together, and anything you do on the page layout in one will be affected in all the others. So for all the sheets except the documentation sheet, we're going to group them and then affect their headings and the footers as well. So first we're going to click on quarter one, and then press and hold shift, go all the way to summary. Okay, go up to this page layout tab, click on it. Click on this little, in the page setup group, click on this arrow here, the page setup dialog box. Okay, we're going to go to margins, squeeze this in a bit, we're going to center on the page, and we're going to pick horizontally down here. So under the margins tab, click horizontally, and then we're going to go to the header, and then we're going to click a custom header. And what's cool is we can put the sheet name, and it'll, even though we've grouped them, it'll put a different sheet name for each one, so it knows that, but we only have to do this in one step. So insert file name. We don't want the file, we want the sheet name. Okay, and then the footer, put your name, so I'm going to put Mike, and then the date on the right side. Not the time, but the date. Okay, now let's check and see if that worked. Print preview, and I know it's a little small, but it says chapter 1, oh, sorry, quarter 1, not chapter 1, quarter 1, move down, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and summary. Okay, so we made all those changes in one go because we grouped the sheets together. Okay, so that saves you a bit of time instead of doing a different header or having to go and select header for all. You can just pick the cells you want, or sorry, the worksheets that you want to have a header on them, and just by grouping them.